What's going on, everybody? Chase with IW Hockey, here today with Rob Gill, product manager for Warrior Hockey. We're hanging out at Little Caesars Arena with your three families of sticks. Now, we have a lot of differences between the three, but at its core, the big differences between the three come in the flex profile and style of player that they're built for. So walk me through all three and how they differentiate from one another.
Absolutely. So starting with the Novium Pro, it's really that traditional mid-kick style of stick. So a stick that's really stiff through the taper zone and a lot softer up in the hand. So that loading point of the stick is much higher, and that's really going to bring a lot of power to your shots. And it's a stick that's really geared for that. So it's really for that player that hasn't given up on that style of play. It's a big slap shot person, hard one-timers and things like that. That's really who's going to appreciate and absolutely love the Novium line of sticks. From there, you go to the Alpha, the LX2 Pro. This is a cool stick. It's the kick point moves down the stick, so it's down below the hands, but not all the way down by the blade. So it's kind of that mid-low is kind of how we refer to it, or hybrid type of flex profile to it. And for us, it's really that jack of all trades type of stick. It can really do it all. It still has a nice quick release. So if you're playing in tight and that sort of thing, it works really well for that. But also very strong torsionally, so the blade doesn't twist a lot. So if you're a player that takes a lot of slap shots, one-timers, and things like that, it really excels at that style of play as well. And then kind of rounding things out is Covert, the QR5 Pro. This is that truly low kick point on the stick, so a kick point that's down near the blade, and it's all about quick release, and that's what the QR and QR5 Pro stands for. This is a player that's playing in tight, and all they're trying to do is get that puck off the stick as quickly and as deceptively as possible. And it's a stick that is strong torsionally, but really geared more for that finesse style of player.
So really quickest shot release possible, hardest shot possible with the Novium, and then the Alpha really bridges that gap, and that's why you call it the jack of all trades, right?
Absolutely.
As we mentioned, the tapers are really the biggest differences between the three because you've really just dialed in materials and specs throughout all three families. So walk me through the actual physical differences, because really when you look at all three, especially like we're doing right now, you can see such a drastic difference. They're almost opposite of each other in how they're designed. So walk me through the actual construction of the tapers and what makes them so unique from one another.
Yeah, three very unique tapers, exactly. So starting with Novium Pro, we do our bevel taper, and that's that angular taper you'll see on both sides. It's truly, bevel is there for a reason. It's kind of got that bevel shape on both sides. The way that taper reacts with the layup of the materials, it really provides that stiff zone through the taper that brings that mid-kick and powerful profile to the stick. From there, going to Alpha, our saber taper, it's really a pretty traditional looking taper in the grand scheme of things, but kind of that 3D geometric shape to it. It's a little wider on the underside than it is on the top side. It's nice and strong, it's stable, and it's consistent, providing that great release on shots. And then from there, the edge taper. This one is very unique and very cool. It's 6-sided angular taper, and it's really designed to provide an insanely quick release. It gets very thin down near the blade, makes it really, really easy to load up down there and get rid of that puck really, really quickly.
And let's round us out here with maybe a couple players you could name for each family that you could really point to and say, watch them play, watch how they shoot and how they carry themselves out there. That's a Novium player, that's an Alpha player, or a Covert player.
Absolutely. So when we start with Novium Pro, we're looking at guys like Drew Doughty, Mark Scheifele, Zach Werenski are really key guys for us that are really, we identify as true Novium athletes. And then in Alpha, we're looking at guys like a Brad Marchand, a Leon Draisaitl, and a Rasmus Dahlin. That style of player is really that perfect Alpha player. And then when we go to Covert, we're looking at a Tyler Toffoli, a Brendan Gallagher, and even a new addition of a player like Shane Wright. That style of play is really that ideal player for a Covert stylist stick.
Yeah, that's a nice set of names you just listed there.
Pretty good, huh?
Sounds like a fantasy lineup or something. But well, once again, Rob, thanks so much for having us out here and really walking us through the differences through your three families.
Yeah, happy to do it. Thanks for having me.
And for you at home that want to check out the entire collection from Warrior Hockey, make sure you head over to icewarehouse.com.